December 19th is coming. Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're doing a little bit of a roadmap to December 19th over on the global side of the game, as the game is in full force of the synchronization with the Japanese timeline, and I thought we'd have a discussion about what characters are going to be, like, missed, what's coming around December 19th, what we can expect, and hopefully give you guys a little bit of insight, or as much as I can from playing the Japanese side, into the clusterfuck that is going to be December 19th onwards, and give you guys a little bit of recommendation what you guys should be doing with those pretty little gems, those pretty little pennies, moving into New Year's as well. So as you can see on screen, we are over on my Discord. Link will be in the description. As always, head over there if you want to join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. It's a very safe place. Come join the party. But as you guys can see here, we have the Raiju Vivi Sugo Fest. Now, that's obviously live on Global right now. Don't summon on this Sugo Fest. I've said it before. But as you guys know, Raiju and Vivi are in the game. The thing that will be following Raiju and Vivi, we do have this summertime event as well. The thing that follows, we have Arena Caesar, which is obviously out at the moment. Obviously, videos on the channel if you guys want to check those out as well. The thing that will be following the Vivi and Raiju banner is this particular banner right here, the Kizaru banner, the PvP banner. Now, obviously, it's a PvP banner. If you really like PvP, maybe throw a discount at it, but I would highly recommend not summoning on this particular banner. Kizaru, he's just not a, like, he's a good character, honestly. He just hasn't seen enough play to what, like, involves him to, like, warrant summoning. He is a Strength Dex and Kit captain. We'll have a look at his captain and his abilities in a second. The banner should go live, actually, today. As of me recording this. The first multi is 30 gems, if it is the same as Japan. This is the steps here. Like, you guys can see these in game. Like, honestly, like, just skip the banner. Like, it's a PvP banner. There's so much coming. I would honestly not recommend summoning here. But for those of you that do want to summon, let's have a quick look at Borsalino, Light Illuminating Absolute Justice. He's a shooter free spirit, so he does have the free spirit tag, which is pretty good. He's a Dex unit, and obviously he's a Pirate Rumble legend, which means that he's going to see most play in Pirate Rumble. But his captain ability is a 5x captain to Strength Dex and Quick when used his special. He's a 4.5x captain otherwise, 1.3 HP and reduces cooldown by 2 turns at the start of the fight. So pretty good speed captain. Unfortunately, like, he's just like straight damage, and that's basically it. His special, though, is very, very good utility. Sailors, he has 10 turns of special rewind and special silence on himself, and then on his stage 2 special going down to 13 turns, reduces special cooldown of all characters by 1 turn, reduces silence by 10 turns, and boosts color affinity of strength, dex, and quicks by 2 times, 1.4 to the chain as well. So the highest chain multiplier buff in the game, as well as color affinity. He does see some play in Kizuna, but, like, honestly, besides that, that's really all I've ever used this Kizaru for. I would highly recommend not summoning. He is very, very good in Rumble, obviously. He does have a very, very good support, very similar to Enel. He gives Dex characters color affinity. His Rumble, obviously very, very good at taking down Quick. If you guys want to check that out, link to the database will be in the description below, as always, as well. But basically, if you really like Rumble, you could, like, use this guy, but otherwise, like, you're never really going to see too much play besides Kizuna. And even still, like, when I did use him, it was on a super boss that we don't have on Global anyway. So, that's Kizaru. I would highly recommend skipping this banner. Definitely skip. And that way, he does come with a Mori unit too as well, actually. Mori's really, really good at nerfing Quick as well. These guys just basically spell the end of the Quick team. So, like, if you guys like Rumble, sure. But, like, honestly, like, the Dex team, it's still not good enough to warrant a summon. We move down here into the Treasure Map banner. The Treasure Map banner is probably the next juicy bit of information that we do have over on the global side of the game. Your boy will be summoning on this, actually. These particular characters that come out, the Hina, the Tashigi, and the Makino, are actually really, really cool. Really, really good units, really good supports. They are exclusive to the Treasure Map banner every summer, so they don't come back, and they have very, very nice support. So I will do the discounts on each of the parts, and then I may go to the, like, step 3 on one of them, depending on if, like, I miss one of them, or I don't know. We'll see how I feel, but stay tuned for that. This banner's pretty cool, and hopefully you guys skipped Vivi Raiju, because if you did want Vivi Raiju, this is the banner to be picking them up. It does debut probably in the next couple of days, to be honest, but I would definitely not go crazy on this banner. Like, if you want to do some multis, do some discounts, maybe go to, like, the new character step on the 3rd step, provided it's the same on Global. Other than that, definitely a hard pass. For free-to-play players, you should not be summoning on Treasure Map banners anyway. Same with the Pirate Rumble banners, Kizuna banners. Maybe Kizuna banners you can probably argue, but, like, Treasure Map banners, definitely a big skip. We're then going to get the Treasure Map. The Treasure Map we would get is for Stussy. So the next Treasure Map to be expected on Global should be Treasure Map Stussy. And included in Treasure Map Stussy, we should be getting the, man, who was the last Treasure Map? I cannot even remember, honestly, on Japan. Like, whatever the last Treasure Map was, it'll also get included in Treasure Map Stussy as well, for Global as well. So, it's basically like the double up, very similar to what they did with Onigashima Luffy and stuff like that. So, be prepared for that. The banner, like I said, if you want to do some multis, 30 gems, maybe discount in a dream. Other than that, don't go too wild. Don't go too crazy. Hopefully, there is, we got this new recovery blind tablet here. This thing here, you can't see it on screen, but this one here. So, that does drop during Stussy. Hopefully, that will be the same. And yeah, other than that, nothing too flash, honestly, except for when we move down to this Kizuna. Now, the next Kizuna we should get on Global is against Ivankov. Now, with Ivankov comes alongside Bon Clay. Now, this is an interesting one, right? Because we skipped a lot of Super Boss Kizunas on Global. We're skipping Olin. We'll most likely be skipping Krieg as well. So don't get your hopes up that we're getting a Super Boss that we've already had on Japan. But I do think this will be the last Kizuna before the sync. Once we hit the sync, we'll be getting the same content as Japan, and there's a good chance that in January there is a Super Boss coming. There's a good chance for Japan. They normally do one every 2 months, and it sort of does line up. And being a big celebration for New Year's, a big synchronization, it would only make sense for them to flog something like a crazy banner with a bunch of boosters. You can try and pick up the Kizuna Legends there after everyone's just spent all their gems on the New Year's banner. So it does make a lot of sense to me that a Super Boss will be coming in January. But before that, we do get this Bon Clay banner and Ivankov Kizuna. So this is the structure. I don't recommend summoning here either, especially for free-to-play players. If you like to spend a little bit, this step here is not terrible. Third multi for a guaranteed banner unit. The big reason that's not terrible is it has this particular unit on right here. And this particular unit right here. If you're missing even just one of these units, it's definitely, like, honestly, like, arguable, like, chance of going for it. After the third step, though, definitely stop. Like, the steps after the third step, like, it sucks. Like, fifth is a legend. What, 6 is another banner unit. It's like, if you want to keep going, go to 6, but, like, stop at 3, cut your losses, take the chance. I mean, it's 180 gems. You have a chance of getting Toki. You could pick her up along the way. Plus, then you have this Bon Clay who could help you out in this Kizuna as well. But, what does the Bon Clay actually do? So the Bon Clay is a free spirit fighter strength unit. He's really not that good, to be honest. Like, I have used him quite a bit on Japan, but he's not that desirable where you actually need him. He does threshold and resilience by 6 turns, silence by 6 turns, and if the enemy has delay, debuff immunity, or debuff protection, once the special activated, he gives a color affinity to fighter and free spirits for 2 times, 1.75 otherwise. Like, the big upside is he's a Bon Clay, and there's not a lot of good Bon Clays in the game besides Ivankov and Bon Clay, and they have access to support like Mr. 4. Pinch healing, no healing reduction. Has a pretty good support though, removing threshold by 2 turns whenever you use a special on Ivankov, Buggy, Crocodile's a big one. So he does have a good support, but other than that, like, he really doesn't do too much. But talking about the Kizuna unit, Mr. Ivankov, he is a cerebral free spirit int unit. And this unit's actually pretty good. Pretty good for wave clearing mechanics, to be honest with you. Mainly for treasure map. That's where I've seen a lot of play with this character. He does 3.5 to free spirit and cerebral character. Honestly, who cares about it? Like, who cares? Deals, unless you're doing the Stump's bounty hunters, this literally does not matter. Deals 100,000 damage to all enemies. So that's where he comes in. Like, that's where I see his most play. He does 100,000 damage to all enemies, which is really good at, like, wave clearing and treasure map. Percent damage reduction, resilience by 5 turn, removal, empty block bomb orbs into matching, and boost the attack of free spirit and cerebrals by 2 times. So this is actually pretty good. 2 times attack boost to cerebrals and free spirit characters. Definitely not bad for a free-to-play character, but not the be-all or end-all. Not the craziest Kizuna character, especially coming off, like, 5+ Lin and 5+ Jack, but look, definitely farm him up, because, like, he does see play with this fixed damage. 100,000 fixed damage, pretty nice for something like treasure map. Everything else about the character is kind of like meh, and we don't really need to talk about that per se. Once we sort of get past all of that Kizuna stuff, as you can see here, there is a free-to-play buggy as well, by the way, a Neo buggy. Make sure to farm him up for that Kizuna. We do come down to another banner, which should be right before the Yamato stuff, which Global already has. And I don't think it's here, actually, but there will be the debut of Kuma as well as Arlong. So 2 new Pirate Rumble units. Kuma probably being arguably one of the most disappointing legends of the year. Like, even comparing him to Kizaru, he sucks, man. He sucks. He has powerhouse shooter strength. He has that same sort of mechanic in his captain with, like, Halloween lore, how he reflects damage. It's nice. it's just not necessary, especially for strength. Like, it's whatever. He reduces cooldowns of all specials by 1 turn at the start of the fight, which is pretty nice. Boosts the attack of strength characters by 5 times until you hit anything else besides a perfect. So 4.5 times otherwise. So if you hit a perfect, you stay on 5, and as soon as you don't hit a perfect, you go to 4.5. So kind of sucky, especially because it's only for strength, which kind of like, why? But look, he's a Pyre Rumble legend that doesn't even see play in Pyre Rumble, to be honest. He boosts HP by 1.5 and deals 100 times. Receive damage to the previous turn. As typeless damage to all enemies, and you are immune to blow away. That's probably his biggest gimmick. Being immune to blow away is his biggest gimmick, to be honest with you. He completely removes blindness, and he cannot be blown away on himself as a sailor. He deals 50 times the damage taken from enemies before the special is activated. If your HP is above 60,000, he's a 2.5 times color affinity to strength characters, 2.25 otherwise. Like, you barely ever see this. Like, it's just non-existent, to be honest. Not a good legend. Definitely skip. In Rumble, he doesn't, like, his support's good. Strength powerhouse, 1.5 times color affinity to strength characters. But even in Rumble, like, he doesn't see play at all. Like, he gives attack up to strength characters and then gives, like, level 3 when you blow them back. Very similar to Yamato. But he just sucks. Like, he's just not good for the strength team. The strength team's just built around Kid, and like, this guy does not help Kid at all. He does have the ignoring defense, but it's only to one enemy, where like Kid hits everyone. So Kid is just a way better version of this Kuma. Unfortunately for that, he just does see the short end of the stick. So definitely skip that banner. Do not summon there. We already have all of this Yamato stuff, as you guys are aware. So we can just scroll through this. Like, this is already done. We already had that fake blitz, which sucks because it wasn't a blitz event. We go past all this. We've had that Kizuna. No, we haven't. This Kizuna stuff will get wedged in with these characters here will get wedged in January. But this was on the Olin Sugo Fest. So this is a big skipperoonie that we're going to cop. Same with the treasure map that probably we scroll past as well. We have skipped all that. But there was something that came out right before this Kizuna, right before Yamato, and right before treasure map Robin. And that was actually, before this Halloween stuff, was actually a character called Rob Lucci. Now, Rob Lucci will be one of the characters that are coming on December 19th. On December 19th, we will be getting an array of legends. Now, I'm not sure what this banner is going to look like, but this is a very, very good chance for Bandai to bait the crap out of this. They're going to chuck that fishing line in. They're going to see what they can catch, reel in some big old whales, and throw some legends like Rob Lucci, Halloween Boa, Halloween Perona, Doflamingo, Katakuri, Robin and Jinbei, Usopp and Nami. All those characters will be coming around December 19th. Now, knowing Bandai, they're probably going to throw some sort of bait craziness in there. Possibly like a new legend as well, who knows. But they could also just throw in like one banner, all these units of selected characters, just so people spend their gems a week before New Year's. This banner will literally go live like 9 days before New Year's. Just process that for a second. The maintenance drops December 19th. After maintenance, all these characters should be just getting flooded into the game. Whether they have their own banners. If they have their own banners, definitely skip. Like 100% skip. But if they're all on the same banner, that might be pretty nice. It might be pretty nice. The downside I'm finding, or I'm thinking about with this particular banner that will be coming live on December 19th, is if it runs as an overlap to the New Year banner, I can't say for certain that these characters are going to be on the banner. Like, I can't predict that. They could do a part like they did with the Onigashima banner, where they put all legends on part 1, as well as the 2 new shiny New Year's legends, provided it is the same as last year with like Roger and Odin. But if they don't, there's a good chance that like Doflamingo, Katakuri, all those characters won't be on the New Year's banner for the part you want to summon on, being like part 1 for this legend or part 2 for that legend. Now, I'm just talking purely off last year with Roger and Odin, but that could be a bit of a problem. And I do imagine that, like, with this whole synchronization, you would want the banners to be the same on both versions of the game. But by the time that we get these banners, we're still not going to have Croc. We're still not going to have Koala. I mean, Kung Fu Luffy's getting removed, but, like, is the games truly synced at that point? They could easily throw out an argument that, well, the games aren't synced because we don't have Croc, we don't have Koala. We don't have those Kizuna characters that we just looked at, like the Beast Pirates Robin, Frankie, and Chopper. And so there is that argument there too. But let's take a look at the characters. Let's see what they do. The first character is Lucci. Now, I'm a big fan of this Lucci. He's a powerhouse fighter Dex character. Probably the best Dex leader in the game. I would put him up there with him and Queen being the best Dex characters in terms of the captains. Law makes a pretty good argument as well. He boosts the attack of Dex, Powerhouse, and Fighters by 5 times, HP by 1.5, and boosts the chance of landing on matching orbs for Dex, Powerhouse, and Fighter characters. Recovers half his recovery at the end of turn every time you hit a perfect. This here is massive. Like, compare this to, like, Final Tap Luffy's, like, chance to land on recovery orbs. That never happens. You run 2 Lucci's, you're pretty much getting matching orbs, like, every single turn. I'll try and leave links in the description for my, like, Lucci mini cases and stuff. Lucci's an awesome character. Really, really good. Do you need him? Definitely not. Are there other powerhouse characters that sort of do what he does? Definitely. Moria, Akainu. The list goes on and on and on. Powerhouse are just so stacked. Katakuri when he comes out as well. Like, you don't need this character. But the big draw to this guy, and the reason he's so good is he's special. He completely removes defense buff, deals 100,000 damage to all enemies, increases the base attack of Powerhouse, Fighter, and Dex characters by 1,000 for 1 turn. Base stat boosters, they're unparalleled, they're so good. And then he amplifies the effects of orbs for Dex, Powerhouse, and Fighters by 2.5. As a captain, if you activate an orb boost, he can then increase the orb buff by 0.3, turning his orb buff into a 2.8 times orb boost, 1,000 base stats, super typing, and a wave clear that ignores barriers. He kinda nice. He's a pretty good character. Pretty good. He's definitely up there as one of the best, or the best Dex leader in my eyes. Up there as one of the best powerhouse captains in my eyes. And a very, very good character. If he comes alongside a banner with like Katakuri, Doflamingo, all those characters, it is going to be very, very hard to skip. Let's take a look at the other characters now that are going to be coming around December 19th as well. Alright, so the next characters that will be coming, or in the timeline, were the Boa and the Perona. Now, there's really only one reason people are summoning for these characters, and I'm pretty sure we all know what that is. Now, these are the new Halloween characters. Their banner was 10%, very similar to just every other banner that we have been getting on Global and Japan moving forward now. Nothing too special, 10% legend rate. It was an absolute dookie banner. Like, look at this steps. Look at this. Look at this. Why? Just why? They did come alongside 2 rare recruits, Shirahoshi and Bonnie, both very good rare recruits as well, but like this banner would just be a huge skipperoonie when it comes to the global side. So the fact that we're getting the characters, if we get them on the same banner as some of these other high-end characters, it would be really, really nice. Hopefully, like, global gets all these sales as well. Like, these are the sales we want on global. Like, this is like this one here. Like, this is like 30% cheaper than what we have right now on global. So if we get the 300 gem packs, like, that'd be really, really nice. But Japan's still a little bit cheaper when it comes out to that sort of stuff. This Brooks should be a free-to-play character that we just got given in Chopper Man missions. Same with the Morgans that comes alongside Lucci. And other than that, like, there's not much else to talk about with these particular units. The Treasure Map Robin we've already got in the game. That came as a reward. And the Kizuna Rebecca, that was another character that we actually got given alongside the Kizuna with the last Kizuna that we had for... we got Olin with the Jack for the Jack Sugar Fest. But let's take a look at the Perona. Let's take a look at the Boa, as they are pretty interesting characters. The Perona is a free spirit shooter character. She's an int super type. She boosts the attack of int shooter free spirits by 4 times and HP 1.3. And if the enemy is inflicted with negative effects, she gives an extra 1.3 times attack boost. And if they're delayed or anything else, any other condition, she's a 1.25. So that makes her like a 5.2 times multiplier if the enemy has a debuff. She's pretty good because she can give a guaranteed debuff as well with her special. She changes badly matching orbs for empty, block, bomb, recovery, 10G into matching. Boosts the attack against delayed enemies inflicted with negative and reduced defense, poison, any debuff. She is going to give you a 2 times conditional boost for 3 turns. Pretty nice. She then locks the chain multiplier at 3.25 for 3 turns. Really, really nice. And if HP is below 80% when the special is activated, ignoring all defensive protection, she's going to inflict that negative effect on the opposition. If your crew already has a chain lock though, she then increases the boost effect of chain locks by 0.5 and by 1 turn. Massive. You have a 3.5 times chain lock, you turn that into a 4 times chain lock, and then extend that for 1 turn. Man, you can do some wild things with this girl. Wild things. Her super special. Perona must be the captain, and anyone else use 2 specials. She will change Strength, Dex, Quick Sight, Int Orb, so any of these other orbs that she hasn't already changed, into matching, and inflicts negative debuff for 10 turns, ignoring all debuff protection. Absolutely massive. Ignoring all debuff protection is the saving grace for this unit. She's still not the be-all end-all because she has a very low multiplier when you don't have a condition. But nevertheless, like, she's a really good character. Definitely don't chase her, but she's a really, really good unit. Big high damage potential, especially for stuff like Kizuna. 5.2 times captain. absolutely massive. Once we start getting some super classes with like the In-type, with like Shooter and Free Spirit, it's going to be crazy what the numbers of this chick can do. So, very good unit, but again, not a unit you need to chase. And if she has her own banner, definitely skip her banner. Moving on to Boa now. Boa was the other Halloween unit. At the time, definitely less desirable, but I think as time goes on, she's seen a little bit more play because of her utility value. Free Spirit Shooter quick unit. She boosts quick Free Spirit shooters by 5 times and HP by 1.25. Inflicts the Mirror ability when you attack, or when enemies attack you, for 7 hits. So very similar to Super Type Boa, the Summertime unit. She applies that Love Heart ability. It doesn't go through debuff immunity, but anytime you take damage, you apply that for 7 turns. So you're just stalling with this chick. Very, very easy to do. Completely removes Special Bite on herself and base attack and recovery for all characters by 75. She reduces Special Bite attack down by 6 turns and increase the base stats or base attack of quick, shooter, and free spirit characters by 1,000 for 2 turns. Very odd that it's 2 turns. And locks the chain multiplier at 3.5 for 2 turns. So obviously you can see what they're doing here with Perona. Extend that to a 4 times chain lock. Turn it into 3 turns, and you can do some wild things. If the crew has a base attack boost already, she's going to increase the duration of the base attack boost by 1 turn. Very odd that she does that. But look, it's in her kit. She does have a super typing. Obviously, she recovers 15,000 HP and applies the Mirror ability for 10 additional hits. So if you have the 7 and then you use her super type, it turns into 17. You can stack them, which is really, really nice. Her taking damage obviously doesn't stack because like with the Mirror, they can't attack. Like, you get what I mean. But her condition is just literally 7 turns. So pretty easy to get. Obviously, she's built for stalling. Not the most fun captain as she's pretty slow. But nevertheless, she is pretty good. Base stat boost, chain lockers, like, it's very, very good in terms of her utility of attack down and special bind as well. So, it's a pretty good unit, but definitely not something that you need on your account. Again, big old skipperoonie if she's on her own banner. Definitely a big old skip. So, taking a look now, what will be coming next is the 7.5 anniversary and the 11.2 update, which we should be getting alongside this maintenance, I'm pretty sure, on December 19th. Or around that time anyway. So, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. I'm sure someone will let me know. But I'm pretty sure with the maintenance comes this update, which is very, very exciting. I know a lot of people are looking forward to this. The 7.5 anniversary came alongside a lot of really cool effects. You could stack like level up stuff. You could put in like 50 tomes at once. Your limit break materials went up to 99999. You could open 100 Kizuna boxes, selecting what dual units you guys want at the start. And it came alongside super classes. The 2 new super classes that did get released were Katakuri and Doflamingo. We also got 30 gems, which is really, really nice. And, yeah, the big draw here was obviously the Katakuri and the Doflamingo unit. There was a free-to-play farming event for this Fat Luffy, or Tankman event. It had some boosted units, as they sort of do on Global, on what you guys have seen on Global anyway. And it did come alongside this free-to-play Donjin Jiao. Now, this Donjin Jiao, again, just like the Brook, just like the Morgans, will be given out as like a free-to-play character in Chopper Man missions for doing these events and stuff like that. It could be in treasure map rewards. Like, who knows where they're going to give them out. But it has stated that they are just going to be giving them out. We did get some treasure map rare crits alongside these particular characters as well. We did get an Eneru as well as a Lucci. And then we got 2 Kizuna units of the, what's it called? The Don Krieg units. Buggy and Kuro. We got Kuro alongside them as well. But these 2 units are pretty nice. Now, these are much more desirable than the other characters that did release. So, like, besides maybe, like, I would probably, like, besides the Halloween batch, like, the Lucci's pretty good, but these particular characters are really, really nice. So, first of all, we have the super typing of Katakuri. Katakuri is a powerhouse fighter character. He is a quick-based unit, and he does have a super class mechanic. So, very similar to super type. Instead of doing 1.5 to the color, it does 1.2 to the stats. Boost the attack of powerhouse characters by 5 times, and attack of all other characters by 3.75. This is the big downfall of these characters. Like, it's a very low multiplier unless you're running a mono powerhouse team. HP by 1.3, and boost the chance of landing on matching orbs. Very similar to Lucci, but it's not as powerful as Lucci's. Lucci's should be, say, like, greatly chance of landing on matching orbs. Lucci's is nuts. Recovers 50% of the damage taken of enemies in the previous stage when entering a new stage. So just like V2 Katakuri, the damage you take, you heal it back. It's not that great. It's nice on paper, but, like, in practicality, you don't see it too much. Kind of annoying. His Sailors, 125 base attack to powerhouse characters, and boost the base HP of powerhouse characters by 1.1 if your captain is powerhouse, which is pretty nice. If he's special, he cuts HP of all enemies by 10%, which is really, really good because that gives him access to Daifuku support. It gives him access to a lot of supports that do damage like Smoker. Really, really nice. He boosts the attack of powerhouse characters by base attack by 1,000, so another base attack booster. Really, really strong. Lucci does it as well, but like this special's like a bit more versatile. He amplifies the effects of powerhouse characters' orbs by the total damage taking at maximum of 2.75 after taking 50,000 damage. He does a 2.5 if you've taken 25 to 50,000, or 0 damage, basically 2.25 orb boost. If you already have an orb boost though, he's a 2.5 times attack boost, which makes him very versatile as a sub. Really, really good unit, but out of the super classes, he's definitely the lowest in terms of the most desirable. Powerhouses are very strong. He definitely sees a lot of play in stuff like Kizuna is where this guy shines. And he can be very, very strong, especially in the Super Boss. He was such a weapon in the Super Boss. Provided you can take that damage. So if you cop a HP cut and you can get that damage, like it works so nicely. He's super class. You need any of the what's it called pirates, the Big Mom pirates or Luffy on the team, or which I really like about super class units, the or factor of using any special 4 times in the quest. So if you use 4 specials, you will get his superclassing, which is great. His superclass increases the duration of any orb amplification by 1 turn, changes all orbs, including block orbs, into matching, and transforms powerhouse characters into super powerhouse, which means they get a 1.2 base stat boost. That includes HP, that includes recovery, and attack. Absolutely massive, because you can stack this with other super classes, and you can stack this with super typing. So very, very good unit. Definitely a desirable unit, but I do think they sort of missed their opportunity by making this not a verse unit. But who knows? Like, knowing Bandai, they'll probably just do it anyway, right? Alongside Katakuri came Doflamingo, and this unit right here is my favorite legend in the entire game. I love running this Dofi. He's a driven slasher strength unit. He's a driven base captain at 5 times, 3.75 to all other characters, HP by 1.3, and makes Dex and Quick orbs beneficial to driven characters, as well as removing 10 turns of Special Bind. I love captains that remove Special Bind. I love them. I love them. So good. He deals 300 times his attack in typeless damage as his special and changes all orbs, including block, into matching. If your crew has an attack up or orb amplification, he increases the base attack of driven characters by 1,000 and gives a 1.4 chain multiplier buff. Boosts the attack of driven characters by 2.25 and amplifies their effects, orb effects by 2.25 otherwise, and recovers 30% HP. This guy does literally everything you need. You run 2 Dofis, you have special bind removal, you have block orb manipulation, you have an attack boost, you have an orb boost, you have a chain boost, you have a base stat boost. With his super class, you can get special reverse. He literally just does everything. I love this unit. I love him. I love him. He gives matching orbs in his kit. Ugh, I love him. He heals. He's got tankiness. This character is so well designed, in my opinion, that I love running him. The big upside to him as well is to get his super class. You literally just need any of his pirates, any of the Don Quixote family, or Don Quixote, or Caesar, as well as Law or Luffy on the team. So you can definitely do some like shenanigans with like Luffy, super type Luffy, and super class Dofi, and stack the two together. Or just like Hawkins, if you trigger a support, if the enemy triggers a support, you get his super class as well. The big reason I love this character is because he has sugar as well. Getting that chain boosting shenanigans is awesome. Activate the super class and you can do some wild things. He's super special. This one down here deals 150 times his attack in typeless damage to all enemies and reduces driven characters cooldown by 1 turn, and then turns all driven characters into super driven, which means they get a 1.2 times base stat boost. Like, it's just awesome. He's basically just Moria on like some serious steroids. He does so much, and I really, really like this unit. If they put Katakuri, Dofi on the same banner, or something like Lucci and the Halloween batch, and then like this new, like if they do a new shiny, like they could bait the crap out of global players. Like, just be ready. I'm telling you, global, be ready. Hold on to those gems though, because New Year's is around the corner. I'm telling you, New Year's is around the corner, and they're gonna do this to us. I promise you. Oh, but who knows, right? Who knows? But that's the Doflamingo. Very, very good character. Very, very desirable character. And there are 2 new legends that have released since then, which should also be on the banner as well. Alright, so alongside all this superclass stuff, we did get, like, the treasure map Moria, which obviously Global's probably going to skip. This is going to get thrown in with the treasure map that is going to come out with Stussy. This Moria unit is going to get thrown in there, unfortunately. So, look, that's just something that we have to cop. That's the character I forgot about earlier. And then same with this super boss. This super boss Krieg, this is a character that, like, a super boss that we're going to unfortunately skip on Global. This character should come alongside the Ivankov, or possibly in December on the next one. It's just literally an extra reward for Global. Unfortunately, I just don't see this coming to Global. I just don't see them squeezing it in. Unfortunately, as it is, the next sort of super boss that we get on the Global side of the game should be a synchronization co-op or Super Boss Sugo Fest with Japan in January. I do imagine that will be coming in January, so we'll have to wait and see. But these particular characters, the Kuro, the Buggy, alongside the Beast Pirate, Robin, Frankie, Usopp, and Chopper, like, they should all come on another banner in January, as the game has stated as well, alongside stuff like Koala and Crocodile, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. So there are 2 new characters that did debut as well. This is their silhouettes right there. And they were 2 new Straw Hat Super Switch characters, which were Nami and Usopp and Robin and Jinbei. This is the last of the sort of characters that should be releasing until New Year's, should be. Unless they do some, like, Christmas shenanigans, and who knows. But these characters should be the last ones, and these characters should also be coming on December 19th as well. And if they throw these characters on a banner as well, that banner's going to be really tough to skip. Like, honestly, for, like, Wales are going to be licking their lips, but for everyone else, it's kind of going to be like, well, look at everything we have missed out on. So, Nami and Usopp is a dual captain. Boost the attack of Cerebral and Shooter characters by 4.25. HP by 1.3. This is their combined captain ability too, by the way. And if an enemy is delayed, does an extra 1.2. The chance to delay all enemies by 1 turn is based on the damage dealt in the previous turn at the end of the stage. 100,000 is a 20%, 1 million is a 50%, 3 million is 100%, and 5 million is ignoring delay debuff protection. As their own sort of captains, Nami is a 4.25 to these 3 classes, where Usopp is a 3.75. Yet the Usopp has this 1.2 in it as well. They both have this chance to delay, the same as this. But the Usopp obviously just does a higher damage multiplier against delay. This multiplier, when you have this as well, is actually huge. It's like 5.5 or something silly. They have 2 of the best classes in their kit as well. They're a strength Psi unit. Their switch ability can remove Blind and Despair by 1 turn, and their super swap actually removes 2 turns, as well as giving themselves a matching orb and a 2 times conditional boost against delayed enemies. Their special paralyzes all enemies for 5 turns, which is a 75% chance to stop any action. This here is actually pretty decent. Like, if you've delayed the enemy and as well as paralyzing them, it doesn't change their hit counter, which is actually pretty cool. So if they're attacking every 3 turns and then they get paralyzed, it stays on the 3 turns because it technically means they didn't attack. So it stays there. So this is really good when you stack this with the delay, which they do for 2 turns. And then you can get a 2 times conditional boost as well. They reduce paralysis and special bind on them by 6 turns. And with their switch, they can also remove special bind on themselves as well. Very similar to V2 Vivi Becca. At the time the special is activated, they give a 2.25 times color affinity boost to Cerebral and Shooter characters. Unfortunately, it's not for Free Spirits as well. It's just for Cerebral and Shooters. But it's kind of like that. That's the Sabo, the Dex Sabo thing. Increases the delay conditional boost by 0.3. So they can give a 2.3 conditional, like a 5 point something captain ability. They can do some crazy things, but they are a really intricate character. Like a really, really intricate character. Like, just really, really intricate. Takes a lot of brain power to put this character like into play. And this is another character that, like, it's cool and it's very nice that they're doing this. They also have the at the beginning of each stage they add an extra attack timer for 1 turn, very similar to Basil Hawkins as well. So they're like V1 Katakuri. Basil Hawkins had a baby and then just like threw a whole bunch of utility and like crazy multipliers in. Pretty cool unit, honestly. Like, I'm a big fan of this unit. I just don't see how much play I'm going to use them with, because it's like I sit there and go, yeah, that would be cool. I'd watch content on that, but like building content on that, yo. Check out my man Subconti, because I reckon he'd be licking his lips at a character like this. The other character was a Robin and Jinbei. These guys are a little bit more straightforward, and for me, they have more viability in the game. Their dual unit is a 5 times captain to Fighter and Cerebral, 1.5 HP. Recovery 1.3 and makes Dex and Int Orbs beneficial for Fighter and Cerebrals. Reduces damage received by 10% at the start of the adventure. And reduces damage received by 10%. And at the start of the adventure, reduces damage received over 10,000 by 60% for 99 turns. Now, this can be removed with Red Haki. This is not exactly as amazing as it seems on paper, but as a dual captain, 10% damage reduction, massive HP, good recovery boost, and some matching orbs is great. As Robin, you get a 4.5 times captain to these 2 classes. You get the HP and the recovery, and you think you get Dex orbs beneficial for the crew. or for fighters and cerebrals. And then as Jinbei, you get 5 times HP, no recovery, in orbs beneficial, and the 10% damage reduction. So they like have themselves their opposites. But if you have both of them together, like so one Robin, one Jinbei, you get all of this anyway, just at a 4.5 times multiplier, not at a 5 times multiplier. Their special reduces damage threshold and percent damage reduction, as well as attack down by 6 turns, reduces the special cooldown of all characters by 2 turns, which is awesome, and an unconditional 1000 base attack to all characters. Very, very nice. Great utility, very good special. Cerebral base booster, like this character will age like fine wine. And out of all the characters, besides maybe Dofi and Katakuri, this character is definitely the most desirable out of all of them. But again, all of these characters are big old skipperoonies. Unless they put them on the same banner, then I'm not going to tell you what to do, because that's going to be real hard to skip. But you want to skip to New Year's. Like, you just want to... If we're going off Roger, like, Roger has been carrying the game for a year. Like, they have to top that, right? They have to top that. So you want to skip these characters. That's what I'm saying. You want to skip them. You want to skip them. Hard as it is, you want to skip them. Their switch ability changes adjacent orbs into matching and reduces damage received by 15%. Super Swap changes all orbs into matching and a 70% damage reduction, as well as a 3000 heal. So they're a pretty nice character. But again, like, they're not something that you need for your account. Let them come to you as, like, they are good, but, like, you can bet your ass New Year's is going to be better. So do your best to save as much as you can to New Year's. December 19th is going to be absolutely wild, but after December 19th, after New Year's, there is something else that Bandai has a little bit of an asterisk on. Alright, so sometime in January, we will receive a treasure map banner. And on that treasure map banner they might be multiple, we should have these 2 particular characters coming alongside that. Now, we do have a superclass Croc that came out outside Katakuri and Doflamingo. He's the Dex, the cerebral one. So he's sort of like the final piece to that sort of strength, Dex, and quick puzzle. And then we had Koala, who was the second treasure map legend after Sanji. These particular characters should debut on the same banner. This Crocodile is absolutely busted. This Koala has probably seen absolutely no play. So, let's talk about the Koala first. She's a Fighter Free Spirit Dex character. She does color affinity, but she's a 5 times captain to Dex Fighter Free Spirit, 4.5. Otherwise, if you long have a matching orb, you are a 5 times captain. She does make strength and quick orbs beneficial for Dex. So you don't have any, and Fighter Free Spirit, sorry. So you don't have any unfavorable orbs if you're running a Dex team. She reduces damage received by 20% and reduces special charge by 10 turns if you are rewinded. Same as Verse Ace. But look, Verse Ace is just... If you're running a Free Spirit team, you're running Verse Ace. Like, let's be real. Dex orbs are beneficial as a sailor. And her special reduces counter heal by 10 turns. So she's the only character that can do this. The counter heal means, like, instead of healing, you take damage. And she recovers 30,000 heal flat rate, allowing you to overheal by 2 times your maximum HP. And if you're above 99% when the special is activated, you get a 2.5 times color affinity to Dex, Fighter, and Free Spirit. 2 times otherwise. If your max HP is below 40,000 at the time the special is activated, she permanently increases your base HP by 1.3, which is pretty cool. So she increases your base HP, and then she heals. So if you only have 20,000, like, instead of going to, like, 40,000, you'll go to, like, you go somewhere like 50 to 60,000 with the overheal mechanic as well. Her super typing, you need 6 Fighter or Free Spirit characters. She permanently increases base HP by 1.2, recovers 30% of the crew's HP, allowing you to overheal as well. So she's built around healing, built around removing the reverse healing debuff. Intricate shenanigans, but just nothing you guys are going to be needing. If you are summoning, this is the character that you're summoning for right here. This character is absolutely nuts, and in my opinion, this is the best of the superclass characters. This Croc is wild, man. Like, Cerebral's just got so good with him and Robin and Jinbei, as well as, like, Usopp and Nami, but he's a Cerebral-driven Dex character. He reduces cooldowns as a captain by 1 turn at the start of the fight and boosts the attack of Cerebral by 5 times. 3.75 otherwise. That's his big downfall, just 3.75 otherwise. HP by 1.3 to all characters as well. If the HP is above 70% at the start of the stage, cuts all HP of all enemies by 10% at the start of every stage. So at the start of the turn. So not every single turn, just at the start of the stage. If HP is above 70% at the start of the turn, Cerebral characters who attack with type advantage gain a matching orb after attacking. So very similar to Bonnie giving the recovery orb if you hit with type advantage. You just get a matching orb as long as you're attacking with Cerebral characters. If you're below 50% at the start of the turn, recover 2,000 HP at the end of the turn and reduce damage received by 20%. Massive. Massive. Like, it's stupid what this guy can do. His Sailor restores own special charge by 2 turns if it's rewinded, and Dex Orbs are beneficial to Cerebrals. He's special. Reduces special cooldown by Cerebrals by 1 turn, boosts their attack by 2.5, and if HP is below 50% when the character's special counter, or when the special counter is at 1. So if you've used Z special at any time throughout the stage, you'll get the special counter at 1. If you're below 50% or you've done that, at the time the special is activated, you set the chain boundary at 3 times, going up to 40 times, for 3 turns. If you haven't, it's 2.5 to 35 for 2 turns. So very similar to, what's his name? Wano Law. The special counter counts the times that your characters use the special in the adventure, basically. He's super class, though, as long as you have a Luffy, Vivi, Robin, or any of the Baroque Works characters, like Mr. One and stuff like that. Or if you're below 50% HP. Very, very easy to do. Literally just start with the Moby Dick and you've got this guy super special. He's super, super special. Cuts HP of all enemies by 10%. Changes empty, block, bomb, recovery, G orbs into matching orbs. Removes HP conditions from this character's abilities and transforms cerebral characters into cerebral, super cerebral. The fact that he removes that, this line here, removes HP conditions from characters' abilities, means that you now get, once you pop that, you get all of this, no matter what. It's dumb. You have damage reduction, you have healing, you have matching orbs, you have a HP cut, you have you just do so much with this Croc, and Cerebral has so much support. This character is so freaking good. So goddamn good. They did V2 Croc justice. We waited so long for this character, and my god, did they do him justice. I'm very, very excited for this character, because that banner will be after New Year's and stuff like that. Be mindful that will be in December. We'll most likely get the Kizuna banners as well, with stuff like the Beast Pirates, the Robin, the Frankie, the Usopp and Chopper, the Viola from the Rebecca, and then probably the Buggy and the Kuro as well. That will be on the Kizuna banner that follows this in December. Most likely the super, the super boss one. So there's going to be a lot to summon on coming New Year's, and it's going to be an absolute party. So just be mindful, all the characters that are releasing before New Year's, do your best to skip them all. As good as some of them are, like the Dofi and the Katakuri, as well as the Nami and the Robin and the Jinbei, they are all skippable, and hopefully they will be on the New Year's banner, but I would highly recommend skipping all of these characters, saving for the New Year's banner, and then saving for the Kizuna Sugo Fest and the Treasure Map Sugo Fest that does feature Croc, as well as the possible super boss characters, but I do imagine we'll be getting something like that in January. But that's going to wrap up the video. A bit of a long discussion video for you guys today, but if you did enjoy it, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.